If your business still needs you to write, follow up, remember, and move everything forward, the last thing you need is another AI tool. What you do need is the right AI team member. And I'm going to show you exactly what that means. Before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe. What we're talking about today is you stop adding more AI tools and actually adding a team member. Okay, so we get so excited with all the things. It's like shiny object syndrome, right? All the new AI tools, we have them in our business and we're using them separate. And then before we know it, we have all these tools that don't talk to each other, or it looks like you've just like added work to yourself, right? So I just want to talk through how we can make our lives just a little bit more simpler, right? We have enough to do already with the way the world is as it is right now. So let's try to simplify that, right? So we're here in 2026, and the truth is, you don't need another AI tool, like period. I'm sure you've got quite the stack, and if you don't worry about it. If you have ChatGPT or if you have Claude, like you're good to go. For right now, right? But what you need is a team member. Okay. We've been collecting software. But we haven't been building leverage, right? So it's time for us to shift our thinking, and we are going to be moving from AI as a chatbot to AI as a true operational resource. And this is about building support, not just having more apps, right? So let's talk about how we make that shift, okay? And yes, I will definitely get to questions once we end. So before we get into all the things, my name is Jazmine Bolton, and I am here to help you make the shift. Okay. I founded JB House and created the Lazy Apps Method. And my mission is very simple. I help service-based business owners turn operational friction into clarity, capacity, and support. And I want to show you how to get more done with less effort, right? Keeping it lazy. So let's get into how we can start doing that. All right. So here's the question. What's one task you've had on your plate for so long and you'd give away by next Monday? I mean, tomorrow if you could, right? But we'll give it a little bit and say next Monday. Okay? Think about that for a moment. Some of you are just getting off work. Some it's Thursday, right? No, but some of you are getting off work and some of you maybe you are still at work and this one thing is just like, yo, if I can remove this, golden, right? Is it lead follow-up? Is it client onboarding? This is just to jog some of y'all maybe you're kind of stuck and you're like, I don't really know at this moment. Or is it those repetitive emails? Or maybe a little bit of process documentation, right? If it's repetitive and it lives in your head, it's a perfect candidate for an AI team member. Period. All right. This is where we begin to find real leverage. But first, let's look at why this often goes wrong. Okay. All right, so here we are. Okay, you just thought of that task that you give away yesterday, right? But here's the pattern that I see most. So AI implementations fail at times, right? And here's why, because you're still rewriting the same messages. Okay. Important follow up depends on your memory, and your processes are stuck in your head. So you bought an AI tool, right? So now we're Chat GPT Plus Pro team, whatever you're on. Okay. You bought an AI tool, but you still don't know what to ask it, or your prompts still aren't just like where you need them to be, right? This friction keeps you from getting real value because, like, at this point, we're now just prompting out here. Like, we're prompting gurus to a certain extent because we prompt so much, but like, we don't really get much done because we're trying to prompt the AI tool to actually like get what we're trying to get from it, right? And so the real value isn't really showing its face yet. And we need to change that approach. And so here's the shift. The shift is from starting from zero to reviewing the results, right? Starting from nothing to just, uh, let me tweak a few words there. Okay, good, right? This shift we need to make today. All right. So we're moving from that zero to review. And imagine one recurring responsibility that no longer requires you to build it from scratch every single time. Imagine that. Like, how do you, because like from scratch every single time, like it's going to change, right? Because like you're not the same person as you were the last time you had required to start it, right? You weren't prompted to like use it. And so you're going to be thinking different, or maybe you're tired that day and you won't give it as much oomph, right? So just imagine not having to do that from scratch every single time. And then just allowing it to do what it does, right? We already know all the fine things about the business or fine things about you or fine things about the product, right? We know that foundational information.
Okay. And in this, we define the role, we give the context and set clear boundaries, all in this whole team, right? Just imagine that, like already set up and not having to ask you the information every single time. Just imagine that. Feels so good, right? So you're going to move from being the maker to being the manager or the overseer, or however you want to give yourself a title, but you're no longer the maker. That's the main part, right? All you do at this point is you review the output instead of creating everything yourself. Like, love it, right? This is true leverage. Okay. Better questions, better outcomes. And so with that, let's do a quick check-in. All right. So we've talked about having all these AI tools, right? But like, how are we feeling with them? Okay. We've talked about shifting from creating to reviewing. So let's just get a feel of like where we are with AI right now. Now, keep in mind, this is not about judgment or anything like that. It's not why I'm even asking this question. This is for you to check in with you, right? To get real with yourself, just like you were real about that one task that you wanted to remove yesterday from your plate, right? Let's get real about how are you with your AI tools, okay? It's about understanding your current leverage, period. Because most people are finding themselves stuck in the middle, right? So we've got one on the scale of 1 to 5. We've got one being I barely use AI. Okay. So maybe you don't have a tool yet, but you've been creeping. Like, oh, let me see a little more information, right? Maybe you're there. Two, you use random questions in writing every now and again. So you have a tool and you just kind of dabble with it, right? Three, there's regular use. But I'm the bottleneck. I can definitely own that, right? There's four where you're structured AI rules, roles and workflows. Okay. And then there's five where you have coordinated AI team, you are good to go. You are flowing, right? Now, three is the prompting trap and where most of us business owners are stuck. Okay. And that's okay. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking about it. So you're prompting constantly, which means AI isn't truly working for you, right? And taking a look at this scale, it's just to help us see the gap between where you are and where you could be. That's all this is a measure for, right? Because we're always so focused, like we're so drilled down into what we're doing. When we pull out, which is looking at the scale, it gives us like aha moments, right? You're like, ah, I can do better. And I want to do better at that, right? So think about your own experience and where you'd honestly place yourself on this scale of 1 to 5. And again, no judgment. This check-in is helping us frame the next step, which is building the true operational resource, right? All right. As you're thinking about this, the real shift comes when you define a business rule for your AI team member. Okay. So I mentioned it earlier, and some people are probably like, what do you mean, like giving it a role and things like that? Like, yes, you give your AI team member a business role. Okay. This isn't just about using the tool, it's about creating a team member. It needs a clear job description, just like a human hire, right? Think about if there's times I know there's been times for me, I've gone to, a new position and it's nothing of the job description. And I'm pretty much like, okay, so what is it that I do now? Let me just pull out my skills that I have and like go to work, network, see what's going on with everybody and like figure this thing out, right? Like we've been there. So we don't need our AI team member to do that because we can set them up for success, right? So it needs all the business knowledge and context to do the job well. Okay. This structured approach moves AI from a random helper to a predictable, valuable asset. And that's exactly what we're looking for. We're building an architecture, not just using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Perplexity. Like that's not what we're doing. This concept is best understood through a real world example, of course, right? So before we even talk about real world examples, let's just like take a look at this AI team member for a second. All right. So it job description, its responsibilities, business knowledge, like what's the business even called? Who founded it? How many team members do we have? Where's it located? What are the services? Where's the future for the business? Where are we looking to? What are the goals? What's the mission statement? What are the core values? And then clear boundaries, what it doesn't do. We need to know, not only do we need to know what it does, we need to know what it doesn't do. Okay. And then there's some human oversight, for final checking, right? Just to make sure we are still on that same path. It's just like having a manager, as I mentioned before, and then a repeatable workflow, just the how to, right? And so this all is inside of the AI team member, just like it's all inside of us as we are right now, right? As we are at our jobs, as we are as entrepreneurs, as we are as coaches, like we have all of this within us. And so it only makes sense to put all of it inside the AI team member if we want it to be effective. Okay. So that is clear. Now, this concept of a defined AI role becomes very clear with a case study. Okay, we love case studies, right? Just so we can just put all of the information in like real action. So let's look at the client follow-up coordinator is what we'll take a look at. Now, you guys can do this with me. We can do it workshop style. I'm completely fine with that. And before this was a mess, you know, period. This before this whole AI team member things were just like, ah, okay. So there's leads, they sat unanswered. Okay. Every response was from scratch, just kind of like, well, here's this, we'll just say this, or here's the link, right? And then messaging changed like every time. That's not consistent, right? We don't want that for ourselves. And so the AI team member, it just brings like a streamlined process to this here. Okay. So lead info gets organized, missing details are identified, follow up are drafted, and then owner reviews and sends, right? And who would be the owner, like your job becomes simplified. Okay. And this isn't just about saving time, you guys. It's about consistency and ensuring that nothing falls through the cracks. I mean, there are going to be some things as we like learn how to use our team members, but like as you become sharper, you'll be quicker at identifying like where the things are falling through the cracks. And then also, so is your AI team member. They'll catch it before you, right? And so let's see this in action. All right. Everybody good for that? Like, yeah, let's do a quick action. Okay. All right. So, as I mentioned, we've talked about the concept, right? So we got the concept, we've identified like what we would take off of our plate, that one task we would take off of our plate. We've identified the concept. We've done a check-in with ourselves as far as like where we are on the scale of 1 to 5 with our AI tools. And we're now going to see like, okay, if this was me, how would this work, right? If you're following along with me, you can open up your ChatGPT and you can go ahead and use the prompt and we can work through this together. Okay. So you will have a different response than I will because I am like, I have my ChatGPT, you have yours, right? And then I'm also going to show you with your AI team member, right? Which you don't have yet. So um, we're going to see this in action and then you can see where you watch the lever move, right? Not just hearing about it. And we'll take like a real lead, have a real lead, real context, and hand it to the AI team member. You'll also see the high quality, ready to send response that generates, which this isn't just like theory, right? It's tangible leverage. So keep that in mind. And it's how you move from constant creation to strategic review. So let me get started here. All right. And so we should be on the screen now. Okay. Perfect. All right. So let me show you the difference between opening the ChatGPT as a blank box and giving AI a defined job inside your business. Now, for this demonstration, like I said, we're using a fictional company. It's called Lumen Pilates Studio, and we are going to speak to Cisco, who is the client follow-up coordinator. Okay. He has his job description. He has a clear role, responsibilities, business context, operating processes, and boundaries. Here, so he knows what he's going to do, right? And we received a client inquiry, okay, that we're going to give Cisco. And let's see. All right, so we're going to give Cisco the client inquiry. And as it responds, I want you all to watch for 4 things. Does it identify what information is missing? Um, does it follow the business boundaries? Does it produce a usable response? And then does it recommend a clear next action? Okay. All right. So we've got Cisco up here. All righty. So what would you like to work on today? Is what Cisco is asking. And I just gave him the inquiry that was given to us. And I just let him know. Let's see. Okay, yeah, he's working just a little bit. slower, but it's okay. All right. So I just gave him the inquiry and then just was like, hey, Cisco, identify any important information that is missing, draft a warm, concise response in the Pilates Studio brand voice, and then recommend the appropriate next internal action. Okay. Do not diagnose, provide medical advice, promise availability, offer a discount, or invent information. So we want to make sure that's clear, right? Because we don't need to be making anything up for our clients. All right. And here he goes. Okay, so he's come back and he said, um, important, uh-oh, let's see. Okay, so important information that is missing. All right, this is what I was saying to pay attention for. To provide the best recommendation, it would be helpful to know whether Maya has any guidance or movement restrictions from a healthcare provider, whether she would prefer a personalized introduction or is open to starting in a group setting, or her scheduling preferences if she decides to book. So those are the gaps, right, that she didn't mention in her inquiry. And then number two is the customer ready response. It looks good. Thank you, Cisco. Guess what? The owner here doesn't have to worry about how to format it or anything like that. So yes, thank you, Cisco. You did so good. Let's read it. Okay, so thanks for reaching out. Based on what you shared, a comfortable place to begin may be our introductory private session. Yay! Thank you, Cisco. Okay, since you're new to Pilates and feeling a little nervous about a group class, it offers a personalized introduction where you can get familiar with the studio, discuss your goals, and build confidence before deciding what feels like the best next step. Our introductory private session is $89, so we're giving price. The length of it is 15-minute session. If you'd rather explore your options first, we also offer a complimentary 15-minute fit consultation to help you choose the best place to begin. Group classes are $32 per class, and many clients transition to them once they feel comfortable with the format. We can't assess or diagnose back tightness. So if you have any guidance or restrictions from a healthcare provider, please share those with us before your first visit. Yes, okay. You paid attention. And then you can learn more and book a complimentary fit consultation here. And we have the link. Like, how awesome is that? One quick question. Have you received any guidance or movement restrictions from a healthcare provider that you'd like us to be aware of? Thank you, Cisco. So thorough. And then number three, why this response works. So he takes us through why it works. It answers Maya's primary questions, reassures a nervous beginner, stays within the studio's approved scope, and then includes the approved consultation option. Yes. Number four, the best internal action. So this is how we're going to move internally, right? So if we have a CRM, or if I'm like, I'm changing my processes. Where do I put Maya next? Because she's kind of like in the middle, like, in the gray space. He gives me instructions, owner, client flow, follow-up coordinator, studio team, respond the same business day when operationally possible, record Maya as a new inquiry, recommend the introductory private session, and then if Maya mentions healthcare provider restrictions or uncertainty, then you can review before making further recommendations. Okay. Number five, internal continuity notes. So this is how you would put her down in your CRM exactly. The stage she's in is a new inquiry, primary question, which service would she start with? Main concern, new to Pilates, information provided, the introductory private session, group class, complementary fit, recommended next action, await Maya's reply, owner, studio team, client follow-up coordinator. So that's the owner of the task, right? Escalation status, escalate only if she reports medical restrictions. Okay. And then any flags, which is number six, human approval before external sending. So this is version one. We need to approve that email as the manager, and then medical scope, appropriate boundary maintained, as we saw in the email, and then no material policy conflicts, discounts, availability promises, or intended information. Like, how awesome is that? Yay! We did good. Thank you, Cisco. So I love that email, but let's take it let's shorten it up a little bit. Oh, sorry. Let's shorten up just a little bit, about that way it's not too long, right? And if we want to text it, depending on how we are um, operating with our responses to our clients, right? So we just want to make sure we have a couple versions to work with. And says 20 minutes. Please let them know. Make it a little bit shorter. And he's cooking, right? So this is so awesome. I'm so here for Cisco. He does an amazing job. And I mean, I didn't have to explain the business, its services, its prices, the brand voice, like nothing. He just had it ready to go. And he identified the information that may still be needed, like without even, thinking twice. So it was drafted um, as a client-facing response. and gave recommendation. Like it just so good. I'm so proud of Cisco. And not to say that the original response wasn't useful. It's just this little refinement makes it shorter and more aligned with how the owner wants to communicate. So in this case, I'll be the owner. I want to communicate just like well, straight to the point. All right, so we can see that here it's, hey Maya, thanks for reaching out. Based on what you shared, a comfortable place to begin may be our introductory private session. Since you're new to Pilates and feeling nervous about a group class, it offers a personalized introduction and helps you build confidence before deciding what comes next. Perfect. And then the introductory private session is $89 for 50 minutes. We also offer a complimentary 15-minute fit consultation if you'd like help deciding where to start. Group classes are $32 per class if you feel comfortable with that format. We can't assess or diagnose. There we are, still making sure that's in there. And then you can book a complimentary fit consultation here. One quick question: have you received guidance? Like so good, right? Trims it up. And we get straight to the point there, right? So nice job. And I'm sure you guys have yours that you did yourself in your own ChatGPT, and we can see those options are different, right, than what we have here. Okay, so when you just put in a blank text or text blank box, that's you're not gonna get all the details that you want, right? Because we still gotta prompt it and give it the information, right? Where here Cisco is like, no, I've got you. Don't worry. Say less. I've got what we need here. Okay. So how amazing. How amazing is that? Yes, the chat. Yes, this is fire. Yep. Landing. Absolutely. Yes. Can we make it even shorter into a text? You can do what you want. Absolutely. You can absolutely do it shorter. It is just about how you, as the owner, want your responses. Okay. Yes. Great. I'm so glad. Thank you guys for even like workshopping that. That's awesome that you tried it on your own. Okay. Yes. Okay, good. I'm glad this has landed here. All right. So that demo that we just went through, it showed you the power of a single AI team member. And now, imagine building your first one. Okay. If you don't have this and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of prompting, or like, yes, I get the product that I want, but like after 1,000 prompts, right? Um, I have an AI operations sprint and it's designed to do just that. Okay. We start with a deep dive into your bottlenecks and then build a role specific AI team member for you. We'll test it, refine it, and give you a 30-day recommendation. All of it for a easy investment of $497. Okay. So we're going to workshop that in 90 minutes during our call. Like, how awesome is that? Not like we're going to talk and then you'll get it in maybe 2 weeks. No, we're going to do it together. That one bottleneck, that one task that we already identified earlier gets handled in our meeting. It gets handled in our call. Like, how awesome is that? And you'll have an AI team member to take it off your plate, right? Like, we're moving from where we are right now, which is you're like, okay, I need to go somewhere. We already have our check-in point of where we are on the scale of 1 to 5, right? And we're just like, we need that moment. We need to go. We need that momentum to move further. Like there's something else that's missing. This is what's missing. Like take that off your plate. Too easy. And guess what? We get to do it together. Like how awesome is that, right? So we're going to take you from assessing. You're going to go ahead and give me some information. Give us some information about what this part of your business is, what your business is. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to diagnose it, right? We're going to break it down and see like, why is it even happening like that? Or what is the actual workflow, right? Do you even know what the workflow would be? Because you're so ready for it to come off your plate, right? Um, and then we get to build and then we test it. And then guess what? Freedom, freedom, right? Okay. So, this is like, this is so exciting. Like for me to just be like, you know what? Let me do this because I know how it changed my life. And let me tell you something. I feel so good. I just am like, okay, you do that, right? Copy, paste, done. Done and done, right? I don't have to give it any more information. It's so good. And so with that there, I'm excited to offer this for you. Okay. It is a focus opportunity. And we are opening 5 founding client spots for this sprint. Okay. There's 2 that are already taken. So 5 were open, 2 are already taken. That's okay. And you have this opportunity, start today, through August 9th at 11:59 p.m. All right. So I am here for you. I would love for you to get started with just one. We don't need like all those tools. You got all these tools. No, I'm not saying all your team members. Start with one team member. And once that's off your plate, let's go for another one, right? Just start, it takes one movement, one, right? Not 5,000, just one. All right. So my offer to you is to be a founding SWAT member in the AI operations sprint. Okay. It is for only a 497 investment and you get to assess, diagnose, build, test, and be free all in 90 minutes. Okay. All right. So all you need to do is either take a or scan the QR code there or type in the link that is there as well. Secure your spot, and I will see you in our call. I appreciate you guys so much. And how excited are we that this can change our life? We can take that one task, put it onto an AI team member, and we are done. We are off to the races. Like, how exciting, right? So good.